Welcome, Pisces, to 2025. Welcome, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Wow, you're going to have a big glow up from the Lord of your sign, Jupiter, as he moves into Cancer next year. And that can bring lucky breaks on upon lucky breaks, but also a return of joy, play, fun, innocence, creativity, enthusiasm, inspiration to your life in a very, very beautiful way. You last that kind of glow up back in summer of 2013. Summer 2013 to 14. So welcome it back. You're also going to see this is a time ahead where you have an exquisitely rare, not seen since the late 1800s, conjunction of the North Node in the sign of your sun, moon, or rising with Saturn and an exalted Venus. And this again is extremely rare. So I think it's extremely important, especially given that it activates a wealth star algol. And I'll share more with that in a minute for you. And I do want to mention that you also have a lot going on with Mars, and we need to talk about Mars out of bounds in the beginning of the year and some of the things that might be bringing up that might be more challenging, but not to worry because it's a happy ending after all. So welcome to my channel. And if you're new, my name is Lori Lothian. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac whole sign houses. And of course, those good old fixed stars and minor asteroids help you and me navigate our life using astrology as a divine timing tool and a navigational device. However, general bell curve astrology, this material will relate to you as a general sign. Your personal natal chart is much more specific. Now, this said, this is going to be 20 to 30 minutes of the 4 things you need to pay attention to in 2025. It's a little bit of a mini video because I do have a 2-hour video already out for you in a purchasable product down below, and I go into deeper dives. This is going to be breaking down 25 quarter by quarter. There's a PDF guidebook to go with it. You have an audio downloadable file, a video downloadable file for that content, as well as you get the access to the unlisted link on my YouTube channel. And this content that I created is my fundraiser that I do every year. And if you want to support the channel, and I would appreciate that, then you can please think about getting that product. And it's a ho-ho New Year Santa Claus sale on right now. So you go into the description box below and you order the product, and then you're going to get the sale price as well. And so it helps me get ring lights and time stampers and video editors and people to support me, and a new laptop that I need where I'm recording on my MacBook Air, and I need a better laptop. So, because it's old. So anyway, enough about me. Let's go back to you. So thanks a lot. Check it out below. So first of all, let's start talking about the beginning of the year. And I'm going to show you the sky. I like to give you a visual aid when we're working on your year ahead, and I'll try my best to get it straight here. But Pisces, there's your glyph, right? You're going to notice the beginning of the year, there's an opposition on January 3rd, 4th between Mars and Pluto. It's building up like December the 30th, and it kind of wanes on December the 6th. And it may feel like a conflict. You'll even feel it the last week of December and most of the first week of January. A conflict or a explosive cathartic intensity regarding the following themes: breaking through on a spiritual level to a newer and deeper understanding of God, truth, wisdom, and knowledge. A massive, intense shift regarding your addiction, self-undoing, and all of the things that sabotage your life that you're personally responsible for. A major breakthrough or blowout regarding matters to do with your health. A major conflict in a work or office or work colleague office space environment. Now, it sounds always, so I have a bad day with somebody at work. No, it's bigger and deeper than that. And you'll get it again on April the 27th, because it's asking you to go under the hood of your life, into your ancestral stuff, into your family of origin stuff, into the way your parents raised you and what you took on as a belief. You've been dealing apparently with a belief about self-worth and your financial wellness, or about how your face looks, ever since 2019, right? Because that's when Chiron entered your second house. And so this kind of wound could be a dietary style wound. Maybe this has been plaguing you. Throat, mouth, lips, face, appearance, food style, self-worth, values, systems, and money, earnings, and resources. This has been like challenging place since 2019 when Chiron entered your second house. And now it's going to be another story. What are you going to do about what's happening when Mars is crossing paths with Pluto in the house of your own self-undoing, connected to things to do with your childhood? So some of this is going to activate the financial challenges you've had, and you're going to maybe break free and break through some kind of limp you've had in the money story that has been brought about by your own lack of self-awareness or lack of inner questing for the deeper layers of what's true for you when it comes about your worthiness to be wealthy. Now, Mars is also in a place where he's in his joy and he's trying to do something positive. So normally, I'd say he could cause you to want to work out or change your dietary style. And he's been in your sixth house asking if that's possible. You want to work out, change your dietary style. He arrived in that part of your sky on November the 4th. And he left that part of your, and then he turned around on December 6th and he's leaving that part of your sky on January 6th. In essence, this is indicating that you got a false start around exercise, a false start around new dietary habits and patterns, a false start around a new job opportunity, a false start around a rental property opportunity or a pet situation. And he went back to re-dig into the 5th house. And what he's going to ask you to do is really investigate, what is your relationship to joy? What is your relationship to enthusiasm? What is your relationship to pleasure, inspiration? What is your relationship to innocence, wonder, and awe, to creativity, to entrepreneurial chutzpah, and things of the 5th house? What is your relationship to sexuality and romantic love? Because as he heads back into that 5th house, and he will do that, as I mentioned, on January the 6th, he'll be there till April the 18th. And if you go back to September, October, when he was moving through Cancer for the first time, September 4th to October, the 4th or so, you might be able to say, well, I'm going back to look at some of those older stories, especially from October, and you're going to reinvestigate them from January 6th to February 23rd. As he retrogrades to that 5th house. Now, on a practical note, this could be old lovers and romantic tryst partners from the past, dating boyfriends, lovers, girlfriends from the past into your awareness. They may be reaching out to you, wanting a second chance. This is also going to bring you into situations involving your children. And then some of the children issues from your past, like maybe your adult children come back to you and want to talk. I don't know, but children are here as well. So when this Mars retrograde happens in your 5th house, it will be, as I said, about 6-7 weeks. January 6th to February 23rd. And then the past is done and he moves forward in that 5th house and he jumps over into Leo for 2 months, back to that 6th house. Now you can really work out. Now you can really start that job and career path that you want. Now you can really get that rental property or pet that you thought you wanted, because he's going direct. He's rethought things. He's trundled into the house of enjoyment, pleasure, and creativity. And now he's ready to move forward. And that means that April 18th, maybe to about June the 17th, you're making strides. You're making strides and choices and decisions regarding all those 6th house matters that I mentioned. Now, if you want to pay off or eliminate debts like a credit card or something, or a bank loan, you can do that as well when he's going direct here, mid-June to mid. Don't doubt it. I mean, mid-April to mid-June. And just so you know, this pattern of Mars in your 6th house, Mars in your 5th house last happened in the fall of 1977 and the spring of 1978. It's rare and therefore it's important. And the flashpoints opposite Pluto, January 3rd, 4th, April 26th, 27th, are important turning points regarding a story about, I think, for a lot of you, really ditching those childhood misinformed storylines. Jupiter retrograde is saying, find the wisdom by going back into your past of your childhood so that you can clear the decks of the junk that has held you back. Okay. I don't care if it's trauma, it could be childhood trauma, it could be childhood stories, what your parents went through, what you witnessed them going through, what the messages they told you, like to be spiritual, to be wealthy is not to be spiritual, that kind of bullshit. Money doesn't grow on trees. Question that. Whatever you were learning, because a lot of this prosperity wound here is tying into the Jupiter retrograde as well. A lot of your prosperity issues, whether you believe it or not, come from your childhood in your case right now. And also Jupiter retrograde here could bring with Chiron, North Node, and all of this stuff as Mars goes direct. Not yet, but mid-April, mid-May, chances and opportunities to, rent a property, buy a property, let's say mid-April to the end of June. No, to the end of May, till May 8th, you could buy a property. You could rent a property. You could sell a property, whatever. You could move your home. Okay, so next, that was drumroll number one. That was Mars, and he's out of bounds. He's out of control. He's unstoppable. Oh my gosh, for the first 4 months. So when he's navigating through your fifth house, there can be some big romances that are outside the box of what you've ever experienced. Tons of passion, tons of excitement, January 6th to April 18th, or maybe major changes in your relationship to your children. Maybe one of them is moving out of the house for good, or maybe some major changes to how you approach sexuality and romantic love. So then we move on to drum roll number two. This is extremely rare, last seen in 1877. It's the North Node co-joining with Saturn. And in this case, we add an exalted Venus. This is going to be April 22nd to the end of the month. The last few days of April, this is building up. So Venus is exalts Pisces. She's happy here. She gives good results to you. This is good for you. Venus will be working with you in January. She's going back and forth here, and because of retrogradation. So between January and April the 30th, a lot of your priorities are going to be about your physical appearance, your body, how you look, your head, your face, your wardrobe, your makeup, your how you feel about yourself. Do you feel good about yourself? Do you like yourself? Do you half-ass like yourself? And then she goes and keeps dipping into your second house of earnings and wants you to be more resourceful financially, especially the Venus star point. Resetting your money stories for the next 4 years, starting on March the 22nd. Lots to say about what Venus is up to, right? But here I'd say this North Node expands and increases what it's touching. I guess I can put you into the future, but know that I have to navigate the chart back because that's what happens. So hang on. Depends on my mood whether I have the patience to do this for each sign. Let's get the Pisces wheel going back to you. Okay, so well, you just disappeared. There we go. I just lost you. I can't keep you. You gone. You disappeared. There we go. So I'm on April 26th, right? 26. This is like a 27, 27, 27. It's really in play the 22nd, 23rd of April through to the end of April. You're seeing this intense triple conjunction. Now, it can only benefit you because Venus is exalted here, and she's very fond of you, Pisces, sun, moon, and rising people. I hope I said in the beginning, sun, career, purpose, rising sign, everything about your life circumstantially, moon, your home nest, body sometimes, right? But in my vibe on this is like, what is it you want to increase about who you are in the role you play in the world that feels destined, and how focusing on you instead of other people, audience, client, marketplace is a priority. However, you also say, I want enduring and lasting results. If you're going to do a new wardrobe, cosmetic procedure or something, you want lasting, enduring results. If you're looking for love, and this can bring with the South Node transit through Virgo, January of 25 through to July of 2026, you could bring in a deep, profound, new soulmate love relationship. But if you're in a relationship, your attention will not be on your partner. And indeed, for some of you longer-term committed Pisces risings, this could pull you away from your partner, and the relationship may wither a bit during this year and a half that starts in January of 25 to summer of 26. Paying attention to yourself is what is commanded and demanded by this sky. And so look to that last week of April for the evidence of what I'm suggesting is true. You'll notice that you could even consider that with Saturn and Neptune together in your first house. I mean, Neptune's gone here as of March 30th, but he's back again October 22nd. Really pay attention to October 22nd through to the end of the year, through to February of 26, about how you feel absolutely compelled to finally figure out, with a strong mastery, authority, realism, backbone, responsibility, to be able to respond, ability to respond to your own life, and to create a dream come true life by changing not the circumstances of your life, but the identity of you. It's an inside out job. It's go within to go without. But some of you may cosmetically change your life, your hair, your wardrobe, your facial appearance, or your body as well. You may go into some body adornments, enhancements, tattoos, workouts, belly button rings or something like that. But there's a change in how you look that wants to expand your identity also through your appearance. And exalted Venus, she's like, bring it on, pink hair, she'll try anything. She's like, she's looking for love though. I mean, Saturn and Venus together, you're looking at the world through where is love, but you want this kind of noble, enduring, higher love. Single Pisces are looking for a soulful mate, soulful soulmate love. Okay. If you're with someone that all of a sudden, if this relationship you're in doesn't qualify for the deep, soulful love, bring me a higher love, sacred love, tantric love, exalted Venus, the love that brings me in touch with the divine because we're so connected. If you're not seeing that in your current relationship, then you may be finding you want to move away from it in 2025. Now, that leads me, because that was number 2. And on number 2, by the way, this triple conjunction, it flows to the wealth star, Algol on Uranus, direct for shock and awe, but also surprise, also wealth. Sudden, shocking, surprising wealth from foreign lands, foreign shores. Travel, skills-based learning, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, and sibling one younger than you. Okay. But if it's not like literally here's some money, because it could mean that with the Algol star, just some major, delightful and intense, beautiful surprises emerging for you in the last week of April into early May. They could involve a really exalted opportunity for dating or traveling or learning. And don't be afraid of dating apps. That would work for you, single Pisces, the end of April and the beginning of May. Now, drum roll for number 3. You've got Jupiter. Jupiter is moving into your house of romantic love. You add this exalted Venus, Saturn. You're looking for enduring, lasting, sacred, higher love. And all along comes Jupiter into your 5th house and says, I've got the person for you. So if you're not with somebody, it's wonderful. And Jupiter will be in your romance house for true love. He will, and falling in love and expanding the love. He'll be there for quite a while. June the 6th through to June 30th of 2026, a whole year. So first of all, if you're a pregnancy oriented, like if you're a female with eggs, if you're an egg bearer, or you're a man with a woman, and you guys are thinking of having a baby, this is auspicious. And especially with the exalted Venus, the goddess of sperm and ovum, I'm going to tell you that it looks like a very fertile year. It's good for making babies, but it's also good for creativity. And when Jupiter's in your 5th house, your arts and creative and entrepreneurial chutzpah gets really increased. Okay, really increased. So you could write that book, make that song, create that painting that you've always wanted to do, or any of those, and more than one. Jupiter expands it. Like the muse is like, I'm having a dozen creative babies. Everybody look at me. So Jupiter is fertilizing your creativity, but your joy, your fun, your play, your pleasure, you're going to like being in your life a lot more during 2025 after June the 9th. Out a year. Now, it's really good as well for money luck. And although I'm not encouraging you to go gambling, winning money is the theme of Jupiter in the 5th house. And some of you may win some money or feel like you hit the jackpot on some financial matter in the second half of the year into the middle of 2026. Jupiter in your 5th house blesses your adult children and your young children. And they also have superior luck in their lives because they're taking your blessings and using them. Okay. My daughter, I'm a Aquarius rising. When Jupiter is in my 5th house, last year and into this year, I and my daughter got a dream job. I saw my kids get lucky breaks. So it helps your children, even if they're in kindergarten, they get some luck as well, especially the firstborn, but both kids. Now, if you are with somebody and you're in a relationship, Jupiter will try to rejuvenate the fun and the pleasure and maybe the sexuality in that relationship. He'll do his damnedest, but he's struggling against the South Node. And the only way he's going to operate to say yes is the relationship has to develop a deeper spiritual depth to it. Because if it does not develop that spiritual depth, Jupiter in the 5th house may blow that relationship apart in order to bring you someone new or something different. You're looking for that higher love. You're looking for that joy. You're looking for that romantic joie de vivre of life. Okay, you're finding joy again, and your partner, may not be the person that enhances that for you. Some of you may have to move a far afield from that person. Otherwise, single Pisces could meet their significant soulmate, like love of a life, in this year. And maybe that Uranus, it surprises everybody here earlier on in the end of April. When you see Jupiter moving here, into this part of the chart, Uranus will not completely leave Taurus for quite a while. There's going to be a slight window of time where, let me look at my transit chart. Give me a minute. Where between November the 8th and midway through November 8th to, let's say, May of 2026, you could get a very shocking, surprising, exciting love story blossoming, because you meet someone in the neighborhood, you're on a dating app, you're traveling. So that's a really luscious Jupiter-Uranus time for new love to blossom. Now, Jupiter, anything else I want to say besides luck, prosperity, expansion, growth, money, luck, winning money? Skills based, okay, versus natural talents. If you have a natural talent that you're like it's on the back burner. I've always been really good at writing music, always been really good at painting, but you haven't been using it like a hobby or something professionally, or you're an entrepreneur. Jupiter expands your entrepreneurial success, but he also brings you that natural ability or talent that you already have. You actually got it from your family of origin, ancestral line, and you got it. You can sing like nobody else. You're the next Adele. Then you can be very lucky in this talent for you. You can use this talent in lucky ways. So go to the talent shows or use this dormant hobby-like talent that you're good at. Are you in the zone of mediocrity, excellence, or genius? Well, your genius talents are in the 5th house, and Jupiter can expand them, but bring luck from the use of them. And finally, on September of 2025, we have eclipse time. Now, I didn't do this for every sign because I've got my 2-hour videos for everybody on the eclipse cycle, detailing out the eclipses, but you must pay attention because you are Pisces. And this is a total lunar eclipse, and it's a blood moon eclipse on September of 25, September 7th. And it's happening right here in your sign. And maybe I'll move us because it's too important to leave it to my imagination, right? Let's go to around September 7th. Let's just go take a peek, because this is not just total and blood moon. The blood moon is because it's total, just FYI. Give me back close to the 7th. It does not have to be exact, okay? So we will have a total lunar eclipse in Pisces. I guess I got to redo you. Oh my God. I hope you guys like this content. Please hit that like button and subscribe. It really, really, really makes it worth it all. I'm like a rat. Hit the lever. Oh my God, I got a subscriber. Pisces. And this is the thing, right? The eclipse will be the moon. She will be here. She will be at 15 degrees halfway through the sign of Pisces. It's going to kind of bleed out to all of you Pisceans, but obviously 15 to 25 Pisces, sun, moon, and rising kind of get the most juice out of it, but you all feel it. This is a fulfillment of a promise made 6 months earlier when we had a new moon in Pisces, which was also a partial eclipse on September the 18th. Oh, no, wrong one. 6 months earlier. Okay, so 6 months early before September of 25, put you back into the spring of 2020, spring of 2025. So you have you had a new moon in Pisces in spring of 2025, and now you have this eclipse. Now, look at it this way. Something wants to be fulfilled in you. You want to move into something bigger, more expansive, more like you put a spotlight or a flashlight on your very own self. Look how big I am. Look how large I am. Look how bright and shiny I am. It's that kind of vibe. And in that sense, every time we see a lunar eclipse, it's often revelatory. It's going to show you something about yourself. Yes, September 7th, up to a month before, up to 6 months after, that you were not quite aware of. So it's going to reveal what you need to know in order to thrive in love, in relationship, in career, in relationship to fertility, in your children, etc. So it's not just a one-off day of September 7th, but it's unfoldment over time. So I don't want you to think about it as nothing happens on the eclipse day, which is all too common, but I would also note what happens on the eclipse day. Pay attention, take notes. Little seeds of clues can be planted. It's like, oh my God, that happened. And you realize, oh, that's like a seed planting here. This is giving me a clue about what this could be about. Yeah, so that's what I'm going with. And then the energy here can also indicate maybe something along the lines of a sort of see, Jupiter trines the eclipse, right? Unexpected lucky break to do with love, children, fertility, money that you win, gamble for, or get in unexpected ways, or with your creative or entrepreneurial projects. So that perfect trine from Jupiter makes this extremely positive. And we see that as well. Mars is up here and he is talking to Jupiter in a square. There's a bit of a translation of ka-ching into your longer range treasure chests of monies as well. Ultimately, I'd say there can be financial benefit and there certainly can be romantic benefits from this, but creative and entrepreneurial benefits as well. And the eclipse engages the sun north south node energy. Where are you letting go of the way you approach your audience, clients, marketplace, or your significant long-term love relationship? Maybe you don't have to let the relationship go. Maybe it's the way the relationship has been going that needs to change rather than the relationship itself. Ultimately, you're healing that wound to your finances and self-worth as well. And Saturn will help you do that as he moves through that second house, June, July, August, and September. But for more details on how to work with that, please get my all signs 2-hour videos, right? That's 2 hours. I mean, that's a lot of content. Most of them are. Some of them are like close to 2 hours. Some are a little over 2 hours, but they're about that. And check out the description box below for Substack, the Pluto Chronicles, where I navigate through Pluto's 20-year story. It's a free column. I also will have a podcast there coming out in the new year. Check out my free, you could subscribe to my free Cosmic Moonshine newsletter, because then you'll know when I'm opening readings and they sell out in 2 hours when I announce them. You can also check out my Patreon community. They'll also get early access notice to when readings are opening up, and you can join for a mere $5 a month. You get to 1 to 3 Zoom meetings with me a month, depending on your tier. And we also, it's a learning environment. It's a community of us. There's about, 450 Patreons in my community at this point. But every meeting I have, the 3 Zoom calls are usually smaller, and we get to talk astrology. I teach classes. I do Horary there. You'll learn from me without having to sign up for my individual courses. Thanks, guys. I'm moving on now. I'm done. I'm finito. And I'm going to be taking a break. I'm recording this in December for my Patreon community in early December, who gets this before you guys, early access, ad-free content. Have a wonderful 2025, Pisces.